This is the Redmi Note 15 5G and this phone promises to offer flagship tech without the flagship price. But I would take that with a pinch of salt. After all, it's powered by the Snapdragon 6 Gen 3, a decent processor, sure, but not flagship by any means. That said, there are other things here which feel premium. You're getting a 120Hz curved AMOLED display, a 108 megapixel main camera with OIS, stereo speakers, and a design that looks a lot more expensive than what the Note series used to offer. And all of this is expected to be priced between 20,000 rupees to 25,000 rupees. Before we get into it, if you like such honest first impressions and informative tech videos, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel because that helps us grow. Now, let's get back into the unboxing. So inside the box, you get the phone itself, a case, the usual paperwork, a 45-watt charging brick, and a USB A to C cable. Nothing dramatic here, but Redmi is clearly sticking to the essentials. The moment you pick up the phone though, it feels unexpectedly slim. At 7.35 mm, this is easily one of the thinnest Note series phones I've held. And at 178 grams, it's super light. Although, I think it might be a bit too light for my taste. I personally like a little bit of heft in my phones so that they don't feel like a dummy unit, but that's just me. In hand, it's still very comfortable, well balanced, and easy to use for long periods. The design is clean and premium looking. The curved back and curved display flow nicely into each other, and it doesn't scream budget at all. We have the black color here with a matte finish, but I should point out that it's a complete smudge magnet. It was genuinely difficult to keep this phone clean for this shoot. Also worth noting, the back and sides are plastic, which was expected. The camera island has pretty much been lifted from the Note 14 Pro series, and honestly, I think that was a good move. Redmi is also making a big deal about durability this year with IP66 protection and reinforced internals. Obviously, I'm not testing the drops right now, but on paper, it's definitely built to survive the daily chaos. Now, there's no space for a headphone jack due to the very slim build, but you do get an IR blaster. Audio is handled by dual stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos, and initial volume levels are loud and clear, but the haptics seem to be on the weaker side. Anyway, the first thing that really grabs your attention once you power it on is the display. This is a 6.67-inch curved AMOLED panel with a 120Hz refresh rate, and it gets seriously bright. Redmi claims up to 3200 nits peak brightness, and even outdoors, you can tell this panel has punch. Colors look rich, contrast is strong, and scrolling feels very fluid. And most importantly, I haven't had any accidental touches so far, which is usually the concern with curved screen, so that's great. There's also an in-display optical fingerprint scanner, which has been quick so far in my brief use. Performance-wise, like I mentioned before, the phone runs on Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 along with 8GB LPDDR4X RAM. You get two storage variants here, 128GB and 256GB, both using UFS 2.2 storage. And storage is also expandable up to 1TB via a microSD card. In my initial setup and app installs, things have been smooth. No stutters, no lag, and animations feel consistent. Redmi claims an Antutu score of over 8,50,000 for this phone. We did run the Antutu test ourselves, but for some reason it did not generate the final score, even though the benchmark did complete. On Geekbench though, we did get proper results, and these scores give you a better idea of where this chipset stands. I have also played BGMI on this phone. There's no 90 FPS option here, but it does hold a stable 60 FPS, which is encouraging. Having said that, more gaming tests are required to draw the final conclusion. The camera is clearly one of the headline features here. The main camera is a 108 megapixel sensor with OIS, and since this is a high resolution setup, Redmi is calling this a Master Pixel Edition. Alongside it, you also get an 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera on the back and a 20 megapixel front camera. I've taken a few quick snaps with this phone and I'm liking what I've seen so far. Of course, no camera testing is definitely required before saying anything conclusive. The rear camera also shoots 4K at 30 FPS with OIS. Battery-wise, there's a 5520 mAh silicon carbon battery, and that's a decent capacity when you consider just how sleek and lightweight this phone is. That said, in this segment you are also starting to see 7000 mAh batteries, But clearly, Redmi did not want to sacrifice on the slim and the lightweight feel of the phone just to get a bigger number on the spec sheet. It's paired with 45-watt fast charging, which should be more than adequate for most users. On the software side, it ships with Android 15 and HyperOS 2 out of the box. Ideally, this should have been launched with Android 16, but the upside is that Redmi is promising 4 years of OS updates and 6 years of security patches. This is solid for this segment and should keep the phone relevant for quite a while. You also get AI features like Circle to Search, Google Gemini support, and AI call noise reduction. So yeah, that's my first look at the Redmi Note 15 5G. The focus areas seem to be a slim design, a very bright curved display, and a strong focus on the primary camera and durability. I'll be spending more time with it just to see how it holds up in daily use, gaming tests, camera tests, and battery life. And I'll be back with a detailed review. Till then, keep watching. This is Vanshika signing off. I will see you guys in the next one.